ally crashed the party.
This arrest can be used as leverage in negotiations on trade with China.
It asserts that between 2009 and 2014, Huawei used a shell company called Skycom to break U.S. sanction laws around exports to Iran.
This is a message from the United States, a warning shot.
Action typically reserved for drug lords and arms dealers, not corporate executives.
Meng Wanzhou's the CFO and daughter of the CEO at Huawei, one of the world's largest consumer electronics companies. So why target her? Well, the company has been on the U.S.'s hit list since 2012, mostly for allegedly stealing American technologies. And this time, Canada says Wanzhou is being extradited to face charges of fraud in trying to swerve around U.S. sanctions on Iran. But the company claims it follows all the rules, and the Chinese Foreign Ministry had fighting words for the West, calling the move extremely disgusting, unreasonable, and a serious violation of Wanzhou's legal rights. They demanded her immediate release.
China strongly urges Canada to immediately release the detained person and earnestly protect their lawful, legitimate rights. Otherwise, Canada must accept full responsibility for the serious consequences caused.
But the Canadian Prime Minister wants everyone to be clear. This was done by the book. No pressure, nada.
I can assure everyone that we are a country of an independent judiciary, and the appropriate authorities took the decisions in this case without any political involvement or interference, as must be the case.
And while the arrest was being carried out, the U.S. and Chinese leaders were tucking into a couple Argentinian steaks at the G20 in Buenos Aires. Their dinner diplomacy was supposed to fix their months-long trade war, but Trump's national security advisor, John Bolton, later admitted he had advance warning of the arrest.
I knew in advance. This is something that we get from the Justice Department. And these kinds of things happen with some frequency. We certainly don't inform the president on every one of them.
There is the crazy up and down of the tensions with China. One day we're on the verge of a breakthrough. The next day we're threatening one another again. The next day we're friends. The next day we arrest an executive in Canada. And the biggest problem about all of that is the uncertainty. This kind of crazy uncertainty may be good politics for him, but it strangles up the economic lifeblood of the United States. Let's be clear what's being done here. If the United States wants the rest of the world to behave according to what we want, we are inviting every other country to put sanctions on whoever they don't like. And then we won't be able to trade with anybody for fear that some government somewhere is going to punish us, arrest our executives. This is a kind of nationalism gone crazy, and that is worrying both American investors and the rest of the world.
A story now pricking the interest of many in Germany. A guidebook for kindergartens in the country about how to tackle right-wing sentiment has provoked the wrath of parents there. They claim it only encourages children to spy on them. Peter Oliver takes up the story.
It's the season of goodwill to all and spreading some festive cheer, right? I'll spare a thought for those answering the phones and checking emails at one of Germany's anti-racism NGOs.
We received around 450 hate calls in the first 48 hours, threatening things like terrorist attacks. We haven't counted the exact number of emails, but it was around 500.
So, what is this all about? The organisation, with the blessing from the German government, has produced a brochure for kindergarten teachers and parents designed to tackle far-right ideology.
What to do if a child draws swastikas in class and says they do this at home? What to do if a teacher is active on the far-right scene?
These are the types of situations and suggestions on how to deal with them addressed in the 60-page guide. Why all the hate against it? Some of the information has rankled, to say the least, with far-right blogs as well as mainstream conservatives. A scenario is described where a kindergarten had to deal with children of parents involved with the far right.
The girl wears dresses and braids and the boy faces physical challenges and takes part in drills.
So what advice do you think was given to kindergarten staff? Have a face-to-face with the parents.
It should be made clear to what extent authoritarian and gender stereotype parenting styles limit the many possibilities of children and complicate their development.
Some were rattled by the advice, equating the wearing of dresses and braids with membership of the far right.
I find it unbelievable that a taxpayer-funded brochure identifies girls wearing braids and clothes as potentially nationalist. The family minister should have this booklet recalled and revised as soon as possible.
The anti-immigration Alternative for Germany party seized on the backlash, accusing the NGO of promoting secret police methods. The NGO denied the allegations, saying it didn't mean to cast a shadow on how kids are dressed, and also added that the brochure was well received by professionals.
This is based on true cases drawn from long-term counseling work, where teachers have asked for help dealing with nationalist families.
Undoubtedly, the organisation behind this brochure and the German Family Ministry have the best of intentions here. However, in a country where most people still remember the GDR, asking teachers to look out for certain political motivations could prove problematic. Peter Oliver, RT Berlin.
Join me again for more of the stories that shape the week in half an hour's time. But now,